If you're maintaining landscape and garden areas, the month of June is certainly a busy time. In the landscape, probably the first thing you're going to be keeping up with is just keeping that grass mowed. Now, if you're growing cool season grass, as most of us are here in western North Carolina, that is fescue and bluegrass, you want to keep your mowing height set at about 3 inches. Another important thing is keeping the grass mowed frequently enough so that you're not removing more than about 1/3 of the blade at one time. So in other words, don't let your grass grow more than about 4.5 to 5 inches tall before mowing it. Hopefully you are now using a mulching mower so that all of those grass clippings can be recycled right back into the soil. I'll just leave them there on the lawn. Now, of course, if you have other ornamental plantings, you probably are going to be doing some more planting and pruning this month. It's still fine to plant flowers, both annuals and perennials, as long as you're going to be able to keep them watered for the next month or so. You can prune evergreen shrubs really for yet another month, probably through the month of June. If you have azaleas and rhododendrons that have gotten a bit overgrown and need some pruning or shaping up, now is the time to do it. As soon as those flowers have faded, is the time to get in there with your pruners and cut them back a little bit. If you have irises in your landscape, they have finished their bloom cycle by now, and so this is also a good time to divide and replant those if they've been in the ground several years and gotten too crowded. Now, of course, one of our challenges often this time of year is keeping up with the watering in the landscape. Hopefully you've installed a rain barrel so you'll be able to water efficiently. Another important step is mulching. Be sure to remove any weeds before you put the mulch down. And we often try to get that mulch down during the months of about April and May, but if you've not done it yet, it's better to go ahead and get the mulch down than to not do it. Now, if you're growing a vegetable garden, things should really be in full swing all during the month of June. If you planted those early crops, you are certainly picking peas by now. Your broccoli may be getting near the end of its cycle, as you probably are now harvesting those nice side shoots after removing the main head probably a couple of weeks ago. And you may still be harvesting lettuce and some other greens. Actually, if you planted squash and cucumbers kind of early on in May, you may be starting to pick those by now also. If you have vining type plants like, of course, these peas or beans, make sure you get those trellises up for those before they really start to need them. If you haven't planted your summer crops yet, don't fret. You still have time all through the month of June to go ahead and plant those warm season vegetables. If you're planting things from seeds like beans or squash, be sure to look carefully at the instructions on the back of your package that will tell you how deep to plant your seeds and how far apart to plant them. You also are going to have a little bit of challenge this time of year in purchasing good quality transplants. The later you get on into the month of June, the harder it's probably going to be to find these nice, stocky, short plants, and you're more likely going to be finding things that are a little kind of overgrown. With the tomatoes, you can go ahead and get those in the ground nice and deep because they will root right on up the stem. Most of your other vegetable plants you cannot do that with, so you do want to be careful with planting and handling those. You probably are also going to need to be keeping up with some pest control in the garden, so be keeping an eye on some of those things. If you have cabbage family crops like the broccoli and collards and so forth, the cabbage worms are out now, so you will probably want to use one of your organic bacteria materials to control those caterpillars. You probably also have tomatoes in the garden, and so you're going to need to be applying some fungicides to be preventing late blight and early blight diseases on your tomatoes. Traditional gardeners will use fungicides such as your daconil about every 2 weeks during the growing season. Fortunately, there are now some organic products available like the Serenade that do a pretty good job of preventing those fungus blights on the tomatoes as long as you keep them applied on about a weekly basis. If you'd like additional information on learning to grow vegetables, a couple of resources I have for you. You can drop by the Cooperative Extension office anytime and pick up a copy of the Home Vegetable Planting Guide, or you can always stop by and pick up a copy of our Gardener's Almanac as well. Another great opportunity is to drop by the demonstration garden planted and maintained by Buncombe County's Extension Master Gardener volunteers right beside Manna Food Bank. You can drop by that garden to visit anytime, but the volunteers are out there working in the gardens every Thursday morning starting about 9:30, and they welcome you to drop by and watch what they're doing and ask questions and learn more. If you'd like additional information on gardening in Buncombe County, feel free to call or visit Buncombe County Office of Cooperative Extension.